Welcome again to the Play Space live. Keith Avalone from Play Games. Sam is producing tonight's show. We will also introduce you to Aaron, the newest member of the Play team, shortly. Tonight's show is about forgotten freebies. A couple months ago, I was going through the newsletter archives and realized, man, there's a lot of stuff here. We've been actually doing newsletters in some way, shape, or form for over a decade, and each newsletter monthly has multiple freebies in it. So that's quite a stockpile of free stuff. And I often think it's mainly the reason why people read the newsletter is to get the freebies. So most of these freebies have found their way to the Play website, made it to the free stuff pages. Here's a little side hint. If you have not visited the free stuff pages on the Play site, you should do that because I think you'll be impressed by the amount of content that's available for each of the games. We did a sort of a makeover of our free stuff architecture a few years ago. You may remember we did an event called Free 20 Free on the 3rd of March, 2023. It was craziness. It was totally nuts. We hit a bunch of free stuff on the site, and we moved all this. We debuted this new free stuff multiple tier architecture that we set up, where each game has its own free stuff page now. And many of the items from the past website were carried over, and some of them were not. That's kind of what I was as I was thinking about it, I was thinking, whatever happened to such and such a freebie? And, I checked the site and it's not there. So I got to thinking, we should do a show on forgotten freebies, kind of reintroduce some of these. And I spent some time going through the old newsletter way back to 2012, 2013. That's over a decade. It's hard to believe the time has passed so quickly. But there's a lot of history there, and it was fun to reminisce and fun to uncover some of these freebies that we're going to show you here shortly. We put together a package of a half dozen forgotten freebies. None of these freebies are currently available. Most of them, if not all of them, have been, well, I would say most of them have been off the site for a decade or so. So if you're new to Play, within the past couple of years, these should be totally new to you. And even if you've been around for a while, they still may be new. So we put them in a package. Here's the package. It's a thick package, which we'll make available as a free download. I printed this off. What we're going to do is we're going to go through these freebie by freebie. And then at the end of the show, we're going to give away this. We've already printed these, and we'll have a little contest at the end to give this package away. And then after the stream concludes, we'll make. I created a blog post earlier today. It's not live yet, but after the show is over, I'll make that blog post live. It'll go through these freebies, and there's a link where you can download them all. I believe it's 50 pages of stuff, so it's a pretty good amount of free stuff for you to occupy yourself with this weekend. So that's the plan. Go through each of those freebies one at a time, talk a little bit about the history of each. Some will have more conversation than others. We'll do a contest to give away the printed package, make the blog post live. But first, before we get to it, we have some business to take care of. First of all, with the Commissioner's Surprise Hockey Blast Tournament, which will be moving to Dallas for BGG Con here in a couple weeks. We're going to do the Final Four there. We have all of the preliminary games played. All that's left is to take the 4 discs of the remaining teams, shuffle them up, and assign them to in pairs. See who's going to play who.
Need a table scene for this?
I don't necessarily. Yeah, I guess we could. Yeah, go ahead and go to the table for this. We're gonna have to go back to the headshot cam though when Aaron gets here. All right, so here's visitor, home, visitor, home. So the visitor is New Jersey. I'm kind of surprised the Devils made it this far, playing the Edmonton Oilers, and it will be the Pittsburgh Penguins playing the St. Louis Blues. Oh, that's a classic matchup. So that's our final four: New Jersey at Edmonton, Pittsburgh at St. Louis, and we'll play those games and the championship game at BGG Con in Dallas in just about 2 weeks, I guess, a little more than 2 weeks from now. Okay. Also want to mention that we've been getting a lot of emails, people checking in about the holiday sale. I know that Dave Gardner and the Digital Dice show is planning a rundown of all the different sports sim game companies and what their holiday sales are going to be like. We've had a lot of people asking us what we're going to be doing. We will have our holiday pre-sale show on a week from tonight, on the 13th of November, a little earlier than normal, mainly because we're heading off to BGG Con. But we will have some of the details. We'll give you all the details of the sale and show you a sneak peek of a couple of the surprises that we have. Not all of them, obviously, but we'll give you a little taste of what's coming for the holiday sale. That'll be next week here on the Play Space. All right. And with that, let's have you meet Aaron, who's been helping out here the last couple of weeks. Aaron, pull up a chair. I'll move on over here. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Aaron, the man.
I'm going to center it a little bit more.
You want me, or you want to move him in, or what?
Move Aaron in a little bit. Yeah, there we go.
Okay. So, Aaron, tell us a little bit about yourself. Well, I already know about you, but tell everybody who's watching a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I am Aaron Brewer, and this is the legendary epic beard of wonder. I think at one point in time in my life, my beard earned more money than I did. I came out here recently from New Orleans. Sean Payton actually followed me out here. He got tired of the Saints. He was like, I want to go to Colorado with Aaron. And hopefully he'll get the
some of the Saints players. You've met some of the Saints players, haven't you?
Yeah, actually I taught several of the oddly, I don't know how this happened, but I taught several of the Saint players how to do paddleboard yoga. And
Wow.
if you can imagine if they would just been in their like football like gear, I don't think it would have been a more funny of an experience watching these like large dudes on paddleboards in water trying to figure out how to do yoga.
That does sound pretty funny.
We are having a little bit of a hard time hearing you, Aaron.
Right, so you'll have to, as I suspected.
Yeah.
So, quickly talk about your favorite sports teams. I know we talked about that in the interview. I know you do have some sports favorites.
Yeah. I'm a big college football fan.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. I am an Alabama fan. They will win 2 national championships this year somehow. Also big soccer fan. I just love soccer in general. Big Brazilian soccer fan. And played soccer in college for a little bit.
What was I going to ask you? I was going to say, remember your wife is Brazilian, which kind of might explain your soccer
yes,
fondness.
I was told at knife point that I had to be a Brazilian soccer fan. So this is clear evidence that I am a Brazilian soccer fan, and I will be threatened no longer.
So real quickly, because we got to get to these freebies, but what have you been doing while you've been here? Just to maybe tell people what it is you're actually doing here.
Yeah, I've always wondered where board games come from, and oddly enough, it's not from a mama and a papa board game, but underneath the facility here, I didn't know this, there's a board game mine, and I go down there with a pickaxe and just mine board games.
Yep.
So I've been enjoying trying to fulfill some of the board games that we have here. I've enjoyed doing a play test. And let me tell you.
Don't reveal the game, though.
Oh, yeah. No. Playing a board game with the creators who know it in and out, I feel like you're at a little bit of a disadvantage when they make you think you're going to win, but you never will.
But then at the last minute, we pull out the rug. That's right. All right, Aaron. Well, we'll let you get back to
Enjoy, guys.
Aaron Brewer, ladies and gentlemen. He's been a great addition to our team. He's really been super helpful in helping us get ready for the holiday sale, and we're just excited to have him here. All right. Here's the package Forgotten Freebies. Doesn't that kind of look like Scooby Doo?
It's hard to see it on this camera because of the green screen.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let's go back to the table cam then. We'll go back to. We're going to spend the rest of the show, except for the very end, on the table cam, and we'll put this back in the plastic and mail it to our winner at the very end. I think we're going to do the pick me thing, and then we'll need a D20 for that or something, or a D10. All right, Forgotten Freebies. Here we go. Oh, I don't want to give it away. We'll start with the 7475 because it's got a list of all the different freebies right there. Let me center this on the 7475 World Hockey Association season. I believe that this was made by Ed Meek. I think Ed might even be watching tonight. I'm not. There's no. He does not have his name on here though. And this was about 13 years ago. But it's a really cool set. It's got all the teams from the WHA. It was a pretty big league in 74-75. So it's got some here and gone franchises like the Phoenix Roadrunners, the Michigan Stags, the San Diego Mariners, as well as some of the mainstays like the Whalers and I guess the Houston Aeros could be considered in that category. The Quebec Nordiques, obviously, the Edmonton Oilers. So you get all these. You get a little like a biographical detail of the league. Not that you can't get that online, you certainly can. And you get all these different cards of all the teams. Nicely done. I don't really know what more to say except it made me remember that Andre Lacroix played for San Diego in the World Hockey Association. I'd forgotten about that, but there's plenty of familiar names here, and this will be a fun set for you to print and play. It's a very large set. I mean, there's quite a few teams here, so you'll spend a good amount of time playing some games. 74-75 World Hockey Association. That's really about all I have to say about this set. But as you can see, it's pretty. Oh yes, that's right. There was one other thing. There's there's a logo sheet with the different logos that was included with the set, and also player transactions. So it tells you who got traded and when and where. So that is the first freebie in the set, the 74-75 World Hockey Association. I've got little yellow cards here in between to hide what's coming next. And what's coming next is, I remember this is actually the freebie that made me do this show, that made me think I should do a Forgotten Freebie show, because I'd forgotten about this little freebie and remembered it and thought, where the heck is it? And as it turns out, it was hidden on an old external hard drive that I used to use to back up the computer like over a decade ago, which we'd stopped using, and that's where it was. So I pulled it off there. And what it is you may not, this may sound hard to believe, but there was a time 60 years ago when the National Football League teams would play Canadian Football League teams in exhibition games. I mean, it seems unbelievable, certainly in today's pro football economy, but back then it was actually a thing. The leagues were on much more even terms. And this was one of those games, the 1960 Pittsburgh Steelers against the 1960 Toronto Argonauts. And sometimes they would play the game all under Canadian rules. I don't think they ever played it under just American rules, but sometimes they play one half with Canadian rules and one half with American rules. This game was, I believe, played entirely with Canadian rules. And but if you'd like to play it with American rules, you can. So each team gets its own team sheet. These are based on the 1960 teams. Obviously the maple leaf indicates Canadian football. You can play this with Cold Snap or Cold Snap Express if you want to play Canadian rules, or you can play American rules because there's 11 players on a side and all the American rules with these team cards. In case you doubt that this actually happened, maybe I just dreamed this. Here's the you also get in this download the newspaper article from the Toronto Star, dated August 4th, 1960, which recaps the game. There's even some photos on it. The Steelers pounded the Argonauts in this game, 41-18. It was 36-3 at the half, and They had about 24,000 people in the stands watching this game, and the idea was the Argonauts owner or the managing director, I guess, Lou Heyman, was gunning for Toronto to be inducted into the NFL. They wanted to have an NFL team, and they thought, but if they could show a packed house that that might impress the NFL executives, they might get a team. So I think it was a good crowd for the time. Not a great result for the Argos, but you can put this on your tabletop and experience the weirdness of Canadian football versus American football, the Argonauts and the Steelers, with this forgotten freebie. Our next forgotten freebie, we've actually kind of built on this. This was something we did in 2015. It was inspired by the success of the Kickstarter Hall of Fame cards. When we were, this goes back to 2014, so when we released Historymaker Baseball in 2013, it came with a blank decider die. It was a translucent red die, and we would actually stick dots on the dice. That's how we got, 3 sides would get a dot, and 3 sides would be left blank, which was great, worked fine, until the dots started falling off, because I hadn't realized that the oils from people's skin would be absorbed into those dots, and they would eventually just kind of fall off the dice. So that's when we realized we got to do something about that. We're gonna have to have manufactured our own decider dice. So we did a Kickstarter campaign in 2014 to generate the funds to have those decider dice manufactured. And as part of the Kickstarter reward, in addition to getting the die, you would get these Hall of Fame cards, which were different from the standard Historymaker baseball cards in that they were color, and they also had a little biographical detail, a couple sentences of biography about each player, which sort of echoed back to the original thought behind Historymaker Baseball, which was to be able to play the game with baseball trading cards. It sort of was like their little trading cards. So they were very well received. And in 2015, I thought, let's do this for the new season. This was, of course, the new season, and we had a set of rookie cards for this set that we offered as the freebie. This actual set was a for sale set, but I've gone ahead and made the entire set available as a freebie here. There's 3 or 4 or 5 players for each team, and it may surprise you, who's playing for whom. I know that I was surprised to see Kristen Yelich playing for the Marlins, but each player is rated with Historymaker Baseball ratings. It's got the little the 2-sentence biography, and they're nice cards. There's Big Papi, David Ortiz. It's like the top stars for each team, and you can have like a little all-star game with American versus National, or you can form your own teams. There's I'm gonna say, I didn't count it exactly. 4 times 30, about 120 players in this set, something like that, maybe more. So you can easily make 4 teams out of this, and this was the freebie. The original freebie was this page. These are future history makers. None of these guys were playing in the big leagues when we released this set in 2015. They were all prospects who were playing in spring training. So you got guys like Carlos Correa, Byron Buxton. These are like big names now. These were like rookies that nobody had ever heard of in 2015. And so they're all carded here. Some of these guys, I guess, really never made it. There's Chris Bryant, though, and Josh Bell, and Hunter Renfroe. A lot of these guys, John Gray, Jock Peterson. There's Noah Syndergaard. But some of these guys, whatever happened to Dylan Bundy, or some of these other guys, Jesse Winker. I'm not familiar with what happened to Jesse Winker or Archie Bradley. But anyway, this was the freebie, and we've expanded that to include all the cards in that set, and you can have a little throwback 2015 All-Star action with those cards. All right, our next freebie is what we called in 2017 phone booth football. Bringing the indoor game to second season. This was not technically a newsletter article. Or it wasn't a newsletter like a freebie. It was a feature article that I'd posted on the website, and I created a freebie to kind of go along with it. Joe Pritchard, who is still a Play gamer, lives in Wisconsin, shared this idea of converting second season to arena football. And it's strange because I think there was a thread going this morning on the Play Games website about, what they'd like to see, what people would like to see for the Christmas sale. And somebody mentioned arena football. And I was thinking, we already have arena football. Where is it? And it's like, I couldn't find it until I dug it up on the hard drive. So this is one of those things. So the download comes with this background information on how to play the game. Real quickly, I won't go in too much detail. I created 4 teams that you could try out. This idea that Joe had, and it really does work pretty well. So obviously, arena football has 7-man teams, not 11-man teams. I think, is it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? I think we're going with 8-man teams for this variant. He took out a defensive back, a linebacker, a lineman, and 2 offensive linemen, and the specialty back. So the idea is you play just like regular second season. You use the second season game book or the second season. This primarily works for the second season full play. And when the game book calls on a position box that is unoccupied, like F or D or GB, then you immediately go to the X column. It's an immediate X gain. So that's designed to kind of recreate the whole high-scoring, wide-open nature of arena football. As I'm talking about this, I'm thinking, could you adapt this for Express? I'm not sure it really would work that well because you're not calling on these specific position boxes in the Express game. You could certainly try it, though. You're probably going to get a lot fewer yeses because it's going to ask for, are there like 2 are there 2 twos or more on the offensive line, and you've only got 3 offensive linemen to choose from. So there, I would think necessarily be fewer yes. But you can certainly play it with the full play, and you can kind of make up your own timing rules or whatever. There are 4 teams here: fire, ice, wind, and surf are the 4 teams that come with this freebie. And most of these players are fictional, but there are a few real players. In fact, I remember as I was going through this very warmly, Jared Lorenzen, who was the backup quarterback for the Giants during their Super Bowl years in the mid-2000s, who was from Kentucky. He was known as the Pillsbury Throw Boy. He was a big guy, very big. He was like 6'6", and if you were on the if you were generous, or I guess if you were kind of scarce in his weight, you might put him at 260, but really he was more like a 300-pound quarterback. And then when he finished his career with the Giants, he wasn't finished playing. He continued to play until he was about 40, I believe, in arena football, various arena leagues. And at that point, he really was about 350 pounds, big guy, but man, he could move. If you look up video on YouTube, you'll see, I'm sure it's still there, of him, moving around the pocket. It's like this big guy, and he's, very, very fast. Or maybe it was just that everybody else was slow. I don't know. But he did play arena football for a number of years, and then unfortunately suffered an untimely death, I want to say 5-6 years ago, due to his health. So he is kind of immortalized in this Arena League set, and it would be fun to just, for that reason alone, to get Jared Lorenzen back on the game table with this Arena League variant of second season. So that is, what is that, the 4th freebie? We have 2 more left? That is the 4th freebie. We have 2 more freebies left to talk about. And this one, I actually just rediscovered this one. This is college NASCAR, basically. It's stock car racing with a college theme. Scott Long put this together in 2016, almost 10 years ago. We posted it as a freebie in the August 2016 newsletter. And it's cool. So there's no drivers. It's like each school is represented by its own car. It doesn't name a specific driver. So you got Iowa State, Kansas, Colorado, Illinois, and they're rated parallel to the 1970 football season. I know it's kind of different, but based on how if you know how well the school did in college football in 1970, that's how well they're rated for NASCAR or whatever you want to call it. It's collegiate stock car racing in 1970, and so there's 50 schools here represented, 5 different conferences, and I think 3 or 4 independents. And there's also a set of tracks, and as you can see, they're named after the bowl games. You got the Orange Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl. So, but they're racetracks, not football fields. So you can play, the 1970 football season, sort of. It's NASCAR, it's not football, but you get the context of it. You've got all these different colleges, and you're racing around a track, and they're bowl themed. So it was a very novel idea that Scott had, and I'm glad we could bring it back. So there you go. That's our 5th forgotten freebie. Oh, there's 16 different tracks. So you got the Citrus Bowl, the Cactus Bowl, Music City Bowl, and of course 50 different cars. So you can run a series of races and have a really fun project if you like red, white, and blue racing. All right, our final freebie, here it is. This is from, it's upside down. This is from the 2019 Chicago Hoopla event, which was really formative for the basketball game. If you don't remember, we had been kicking around the idea of a basketball game for years, and had come up with a working model in 2017. And the idea was, I wanted to have a full play basketball game with stats that could be played in 40 minutes. And this game engine that I put together, I showed it first in Seattle at the 2017 Fall Classic pre-play, and then was kind of messing around with it. And people wanted to hear more about it, so I thought, fine, let's all meet in Chicago, and we're going to play this game and see if it's got any legs. And so I was shocked at how many people showed up. I think we had a couple dozen. I think it was at least 24 people who showed up at the hotel stay, and we had a nice little event. And we went over to the game store, and they had set up like one table for us. Well, it was like 3 tables, 1 row of tables, and was clearly not enough for us. We packed that place out. People were standing around watching this basketball game, and it was really fun. We had some great ideas, and we talked about how what people wanted out of a basketball game. Ultimately, that game engine got scrapped 2 years later, but a lot of the ideas that we came up with that day were wound up being included in the game. And of course, we had referees, and Chad McAvoy made these cards. It's, the game cards. The amazing thing about the basketball game, if you haven't followed the development of it, we started out with this set of cards that we played with at the Chicago event. These set of qualities. We had playmaking qualities and rebounding qualities and shot qualities. And as the game evolved into something completely different than what we played in 2019. However, the cards remained the same. You could use those cards. In fact, we did use those cards from the 2019 Hoopla event. Were included in the College Hoops Playdown. So the game kind of morphed around the player ratings structure. And one of the pieces of the structure was the rating of refs, and Chad made these cards. And I don't even want to comment on who got respected and who got questionable, but there you go. We have little images of everybody. So these are all folks that were part of the community. I don't think Al was at that, but I know. Well, it's been so long ago. I probably shouldn't swear to any of it. I seemed like all these folks were there. I know Brian Martin was there. David Little was there. The McAvoys were there. I'm pretty sure Travis was there. And, of course, I was there. Sam was not there. So he's one of the ones that was not. Anyway, I thought it'd be fun to include this. And along with it, there is the website text, which I copied into a text document that talks about the event, recaps it. And it's an interesting read, I think, particularly the drill down of the results and how people felt about it and where the game was going to move forward from there. It's interesting to read this, 5 years later, and see where the game actually did land versus where it was at this point. So that is also included in the download. So that's the package. 6 forgotten freebies. Is there anybody out there that remembers all those? I bet not. I didn't even remember Scott's set. But let me put this back in there, and we will go ahead and do our little contest. So what I was thinking was we would do is if you'd like me to mail this to you, Sam, I will need a D10 or something.
D20?
D20 would be good if you want to count back that many. What we'll do is we'll have you enter pick me in the box, in the chat. And here we go. It's a D20. Pick me. And at some point, we'll let it go for like 10 or 15 seconds, starting right now. And if you want this mailed to you, just put pick me. And then in about 10 seconds, we will say stop. And then I will roll the D20 and we'll count back that many. And whoever said pick me will get this mailed to them tomorrow, first thing. I'm going to count down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. All right? And I'm going to roll the D20. You got it stopped?
Yep, it's stopped.
You're going to count back 8. Count back 8.
Dave Little.
Dave Little, the hoopla man. Yes, sir. Couldn't have gone to a better guy. Dave, I love you, man. So we'll mail that to you tomorrow, first thing. And that's our show for tonight. Hope you enjoyed it. As always, thank you for watching. Next week will be our holiday sale sneak preview, as I told you about. We'll go over the details of the sale. We will show a couple of the items we're working on. And be sure to join us for that. That's next Thursday, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Until then, have a great weekend. Hope you enjoy the freebies. And we'll see you again next week, right? Yes, and I will be posting them soon. Right after the stream is over, I'm going to make that blog post live, and you can download them and have fun. All right. See you next week. Thanks for watching. Adios. Thank you.